imagine that we are closest to God in our brokenness, that we are closest to truth and meaning and light when we are broken. Here's just one example from Psalm 34. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. You know, our culture doesn't teach us that. Our culture teaches us that the signs of our aliveness and successfulness and goodness are worn outside of us, are in dressing right and talking right and having the right job and being successful and making lots of money. But this ancient text invites us into a different understanding. It invites us to think of brokenness not as failure and pain, but as an invitation to the next version of ourselves. Such as Jesus saying, "This is my body broken for you." Or the Gospel of Matthew that implores us to admit our brokenness to start the work of healing. It's only when we recognize the places where we need healing that we can begin the work of healing. What might it be like to stop being afraid of our brokenness? It isn't our faith or our divine spirit or our deep truth in the image of God that tells us that brokenness is bad. All those quiet, peaceful places tell us it's just a part of the journey. That the breaking down and rebuilding, like the inhale and the exhale, like the sand on the beach, like the shedding of leaves and blooming again, it's all just part of it. But I get it. The other voices are so much louder. Voices from our family of origin, where we just couldn't be good enough. Voices from capitalism that tell us if we were successful enough or if we bought enough, we would finally be happy. Or voices of our own inner critic telling us we'll never be enough. What if we just said, "Yep, you're right. I won't be enough for all of that, and I don't have to be." There's an alternative to just trying to be more and better and always going and giving and producing. There's another space for which we are enough. I am enough to be and do what I was created to be and do. And the rest becomes unimportant. My own judgments and those of others. What if instead of being someone else's or my childhood or capitalism's version of enough, I could accept and embrace the enough that I already am? And what if we stop always defending against and trying to prevent brokenness and instead embrace it as part, perhaps a very necessary part of the journey? What if instead of trying to curate perfect lives and make it appear like all is well, with the shoulds that plague us, we acknowledge what doesn't serve us and hurl it at a wall with a mighty yell? Shards of that which no longer serves us. I want to stop being mad about the pandemic. I want to stop feeling frustrated and overwhelmed by my family situation. I want to stop trying to control things beyond my control. I want to stop fighting life and start living it. During the final week of Jesus' life, he was eating a meal, and a woman came with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume. She broke the jar and poured it over his head. And there were those in the room who said, "She shouldn't have done that. She could have sold that. She could have sold that for money and fed people and helped people." And Jesus kind of says, "You guys, get off her back. This is for a time such as this. Our brokenness is part of our story and is an important step into the space that we are becoming." So today, we're going to break some stuff as a visceral, physical reminder that brokenness is just part of it. And as we stand among the shards of the pots we'll break today, we'll reflect on what it feels like and what it means to have the hardness and the angst of the life that we live, but also know we get an opportunity to start again. One last thought. Surrender is a bad word to white middle-class Americans. but it might just be the thing that stands between us